What is up, guys? DBZONIC #1 here, and today, ladies and gentlemen, for another Who Would Win edition. Once again, I am joined by none other than
me, the Skyward Wolfman.
Good to be with you again, my friend.
It's always been good to be with you.
Now, Skyward, I have done one whole season of my Who Would Win series, and this is still season 2. Now, I did a video with about 2 guys who I felt like deserved another chance to fight, but at the time I didn't know that much until God of War got a new game, which was God of War 4, and then I found out Kratos has new feats achieved. His opponent Asura had more than I originally thought he had. He had more powers and moves. So with knowing that, do you know what I'm about to do with you today?
I believe it has to do with Kratos versus Asura.
Yes, it does, but what specifically are we doing?
To see who would win in this new round.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it's round 2. These two demigods are going to go at it once again to see who is the true top dog in being a demigod. Now then, you guys already know my rules, so I don't need to explain them. All we're going to do now is go over their origins, their characteristics, a bit of their characteristics, and then we're going to go through the statistics of each character, and we're going to find out who wins in each category. So, Skyward, as my honored guest, would you like to start off with talking about the person you have done info on?
Well, absolutely. So, my contender is Kratos, who is a Greek demigod who was born in Sparta. He was raised to become a great general in the Spartan army, leading them to numerous victories throughout ancient Greece. However, one day they met their match with the barbarians who were defeated. As Kratos and his men were about to die, Kratos called out servitude to him. But this proved to be a mistake, as it led him to distance as well as enemies of Sparta. It then unfortunately ended when Kratos accidentally killed his family, cursed to fuse with their ashes while demanding revenge. Eventually, Kratos got his revenge and became the god of war, only for the gods of Olympus to betray him. The gods also turned out to be responsible for ruining Kratos' life, such as stealing his brother away and killing his mother when she was about to reveal that Zeus was his father, and much more. And as such, Kratos climbed up Mount Olympus and destroyed every god on there, bringing about the apocalypse. Loss, as Kratos was found out that he had contained hope, and after releasing hope from his body, he had created a new world, the Norse realm. After escaping the now destroyed Greek realm, he moved to the Norse realm and had a new family with Faye, who gave birth to Atreus. When Faye died, Kratos and his son prepared and left to spread her ashes in the highest peak in all the realms.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, very good. And that ties us in to the new game, God of War 4, until we see God of War 5, which hopefully comes out soon.
Hopefully.
Now then, I do believe
Please tell me.
Oh, sorry. Do talk, good
now,
sir.
Please tell me, what is the origin and backstory of Asura?
Yes. Indeed, I will talk about Asura. Now then, Asura. Asura is a demigod from India, as he is part of I don't know which specific Indian mythology he's part of, because technically there are either 2 or 3 religions in India. I would like to believe he's part of the religion of Vishnu. But he could be part of the Buddhist religion, as there is a sub-religion in Buddhism where Buddha has a crap ton of arms, and arms seem to be a major feature with this guy. But anywho, he started off as just a regular demigod who was trained by the warrior general of the celestial army, who was a demigod himself. And only after just 1 measly year of training under his master, Asura became a general himself a part of the celestial army, being the general of the Grand Council or Overgod, whose name I can't remember for the life of me, but he was in a way their commander, who many people believed was God of Gods, until, well, we found out he wasn't. Anyway, the commander was killed by one of the demigods, and Asura was framed for killing him. He was then struck down by his fellow deities and sent crashing down from in the middle of space all the way down to Earth, only to die. But he would not stay dead. He wanted revenge, pure and simple. He dragged himself out of hell by climbing a giant stone pillar and coming back to life. And he got his revenge. And he was angry for a good reason, as his god title was God of Wrath. He would set out to kill all of the generals who now called themselves the new gods. But he didn't stop there. After he killed the last one, Deus, who was kind of a lightning god, interesting, very interesting, he found out there's another god who made this whole thing happen in the first place. The true god of gods, the god of creation, Chakravartin. And when he found out Chakravartin was going to use his daughter's power to recreate the universe by destroying it and rebirthing it, Asura was, well, as you probably could guess, very angry. And in a blind rage, he killed Chakravartin. But even though you think that would be a bad idea, killing the god of creation, but in doing so, he kind of, well, died. But in turn, after a good long amount of years, the earth was reborn. Everything was reset and everything was peaceful, and he himself was reincarnated. But it's not specified if his reincarnated self has his original powers, so I will be using Asura up just before the point of his actual legit death. Just as a clarification. Also, I don't know why, but I need to mention, yeah, he is over 12,000 years old. Yeah, I just want to mention that quickly. Alright, now that that's out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, you know what comes next. The statistics. Each individual thing that makes a warrior.
Now, I believe that the first statistic we will talk about is strength.
Oh, yes. So just how strong is Kratos in God of War 4?
Well, compared to other games, he still possesses incredible strength, enough to bet a mighty Hercules, or even surpass the incredible might of Odin and Thor, as they are afraid of him.
Dang.
Now, what strength does Asura have?
Well, mind you, this isn't in his technical final transformation, but this still somewhat counts. He, with just through pure strength alone, he punched a hole through a planet that is 100 times bigger than Earth.
Oh, I did not expect that.
Yep. And the funny thing is, in the game Asura's Wrath, Earth is referred to as Gaia, which is the name of the mother titan.
Yep.
But funny enough, even though that's the name of the mother titan, scientists do say that the other name for Earth is either Gaia or Terra.
Right.
But yeah, Gaia means Earth. So yeah, he punched the. Now he didn't destroy the planet. He just punched a hole through it so he could fit through. But still, he punched a clean hole through a planet 100 times bigger than Earth.
Right.
And for a size comparison, Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, is only 50 times bigger than Earth.
Oh god, that's just...
Yeah, so he punched a hole through a planet twice the size of Jupiter.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Mind you, that was at its full power. But still, that is his absolute best feat of physical strength.
So, how strong is Odin and Thor? Like, just in pure strength?
Okay. Now I can actually help you with this. I'm not a mega expert when it comes to Norse mythology, but I know my fair due. Now, if Baldur is as strong as Thor, and vice versa, Baldur managed to, with 3 to 4 punches, completely knock out Jormungandr, the world serpent, who when he fought with Thor, the battle was so powerful, they shook all of the 9 rounds.
Wow.
Now, it's not specified what the 9 realms are, nor knows if they're 9 planets or 9 different universes. If they were universes, then that makes them ridiculously powerful. But I would reckon to say they're more like planets. As them being universe-sized sounds a bit too ridiculous. But even if they were universe-sized, their battle was so great, they made the other 9 rounds shake.
Right.
And also, Thor hit Jormungandr so hard that somehow Jormungandr went back in time before his own birth.
And Thor, the god of strength himself, who was able to do that, is scared of Kratos, then... yeah.
And just so you know, in the game of God of War 4, which I've actually seen, the Temple of Tyr, Kratos pushes it himself into one location, and he does it with, well, it looks like it would take a lot of strength, but I don't know if they forgot to make it look like he would struggle or not, but he did it with pretty much minimal ease. Then again, it was on a mechanism, but still, it would take a crap ton of strength to push it. And then Jormungandr, only a few hours later, did the exact same thing with his own head. Meaning, Kratos is either equal or stronger than Jormungandr, who is equal to strength to Thor. Meaning, either Kratos is as strong as Thor, or possibly stronger.
And And he's supposed to be the god of strength himself.
Yeah, and Kratos isn't even meant to be the god of strength. That from the realm Kratos is from, that's meant to be Hercules.
And Kratos managed to surpass Hercules.
His rage is so great, he surpasses all strength.
So, like, who do you say would win the strength category?
Okay, now if the 9 realms are 9 different universes, then it would seem like Kratos is a lot stronger than Asura. But technically, now here's the thing: they didn't destroy the universes; they just made the other universes shake. Because in Legends, the 9 realms in Norse mythology are just on top of one another, like a pillar. So it makes sense that they would feel the vibrations from one universe.
Right.
So from that standpoint, that's still impressive, because they didn't just shake their universe, they shook 8 others. But here's the thing: Asura destroyed an entire hole big enough for him to fit through. And guess how big he was when he did it?
How big?
He was already twice the size of the Earth himself. Because his transformation makes him twice the size of Earth.
Damn.
So yeah, he had to punch a hole through a planet that was 100 times bigger than Earth, but he was twice the size of the Earth, so he punched a hole that was, well, roughly a 10th or like an 1/8 of the size of the planet itself just to fit through. So
I don't know, like the fact Kratos was able to has strength equal to that of Thor, or even surpassing Thor. I don't know. I just feel like Kratos is stronger.
But here's the thing: Asura has one very uncanny ability. The more angrier he gets, and the longer he's angry, the stronger he can be.
One thing I would like to factor into this, and that is Kratos' Spartan Rage, which allows him to be completely unstoppable.
True, but I don't know if it's due to game mechanics or not. It doesn't seem to last forever.
Right, but still, we have to factor it in somehow.
True. Okay. This is really tough. I mean, what sounds greater? Being able to punch a hole through a planet 100 times bigger than Earth, or being able to punch a creature so hard, like you battle a creature so hard that the vibrations from the battle shake 9 other universes.
I'd say the universes is better because at least with the planet, it takes place in one universe.
True. I guess that is true. But even if I know that they probably are other universes, but let's just say for sake of argument's sake, what if they weren't? What if they were just other planets?
Well, it depends on how big those planets are.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but in the Marvel version of Muspelheim, it didn't seem that much bigger than Earth itself.
Okay, I'm just saying, like how about if it's like a planet that's like 9 times as big as Earth's in 9 different realms?
Alright, so if each separate universe besides Midgard, which is Earth, are 9 times bigger than Earth, but there's 8 of them, so that's 9 times 8, which is, oh god, that's hard. So that's 8 planets 9 times the size of Earth against someone punching one planet 100 times the size.
Yeah.
This is really tough.
I don't know. How about for the sake of this video, let's just give it a tie.
Yeah. And due to the fact they both can have unbelievable strength when they're enraged, yeah, it would pretty much be a tie. Because I don't know how long Kratos can stay angry for, but if he can stay as angry as he did in the first 3 games, in the 4th one, yeah, then his rage seems infinite.
Yeah.
And Asura's rage seems unlimited. Like, it almost seems like he'll never calm down.
Right.
And fun fact, before he got an upgrade, most of his transformations were achieved through pure anger. Like, before he got an upgrade to himself, Asura achieved technically 3 transformations from pure anger.
Wow.
So yeah, for sake of argument's sake, strength for these two is a tie. Alright. Now up next is speed.
Well, for Kratos, he is stupidly fast, and he's able to outrun those that possess chronokinesis, or those who are fast as lightning. People with chronokinesis are basically people that can manipulate time.
Oh yeah, because Chrono is short for Kronos, the god of time.
Yes.
Also, that's what chronokinesis is. Or what it would be called if someone could manipulate time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, what about Asura?
Well, again, this was in his last transformation, but still, this is the most amazing feat of speed I've ever seen. He flew from Earth to the other end of the solar system in roughly 10 minutes. And for a speed comparison, guess how long it takes for a rocket on Earth now to get to the moon?
How long?
It still takes an hour. And Asura went from Earth to the other end of the solar system in 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's fast.
Well, yes, he was flying, meaning there would be no resistance, but still, that is stupidly fast.
So, from what I can tell, like, that is impressive on its own, but it's nothing against someone that can be able to outrun time itself.
Okay, but here's the thing. Are the people who are manipulating time actually stopping it, or are they just slowing time down?
They're actually, like, slowing it down to almost an iceberg's pace.
So, almost to a crawl.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is tough. Okay, so yeah, slowing down time, blah blah blah, that was weird. I meant slowing time down, not dying town, lol. Slowing time down to a crawl is fucking hard to run through. I won't deny that. But, I don't know if that's more speed or just the fact that Kratos is just using his pure rage to power through it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Okay. Let's say for the sake of argument's sake, somehow he is fast enough to go against someone who's manipulating time to make it go to an absolute crawl. Now when people say crawl, no one knows what it exactly means. But if we're comparing it to actual crawling in real life, the fastest a person can crawl is roughly about a mile a minute. I mean, not a mile a minute, sorry, a mile an hour. Which is pretty slow.
Yeah.
But, alright, so even if Kratos was to say had to move, let's say roughly, for a rough guess, he actually had to run 1 mile to get to an enemy, and time was slowed down to an absolute crawl, and it took him an hour to do so. Even if we use that, here's the thing. From Earth, which is the third closest planet to the Sun, to the other end of the solar system, do you know how many miles that is?
A shit ton.
Yeah, an absolute shit ton. From just Earth to the Moon itself, that's roughly 25 million miles. I'm not even kidding. And from Earth to Sun, people have estimated to be roughly nearly 2.5 billion miles away. And that's Earth to the Sun.
Yeah, but again, it's the whole time thing.
Yeah, I will admit that does present a problem. So, okay, without time manipulation, it would obviously be Asura, but due to the fact that there is time manipulation involved, then Kratos does seem faster.
Yeah.
So, how do we do this then?
Let's just give the point to Kratos.
Alright, surprisingly, as slow as he may seem during gameplay, he's faster than people think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then. So, let's move on to stamina. Slash what, sorry?
Slash durability.
Oh yeah. Alright, so how much stamina and durability does Kratos have?
Kratos rarely ever ventures. Bill falls from great heights and walking away unharmed, getting crushed, stabbed, beaten, blasted, and enemies in traps, as well as surviving extreme environments such as hell, a realm said to be so cold that not even Odin himself can. Kratos is also resistant to most forms of supernatural attacks and magic. He also has a healing to regenerate from most wounds at a fast rate, although he gets scars from gods that have injured. Here's something that might factor into this whole thing, is that when Kratos loses in battle or war, he simply the world to Earth. He can change his fate by manipulating or traveling in time. This is possible to escape the underworld and Helheim, and time manipulation is still because he can just simply go back to Greece and use the threads of fate.
Well, yes, I'm not going to argue that he couldn't do that. But seeing how he kind of does, it feels like he doesn't want to go back. I feel like you should factor that in. The fact that he might not, I don't think he ever wants to go back.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like when it goes to far as defeating your enemies, you're gonna have to let things go.
I will admit. Yeah, I will admit that.
Okay, so he may not want to do it, but when you're trying your most deadliest enemy, you'll have to use whatever you can, even if you don't exactly want to.
Yeah, I will admit that.
Yeah, like,
I will admit,
So-
even some of the best of warriors have to suck in their pride if they want to win a battle.
right. So, why don't we talk about durability and
Very well. Well, Asura's stamina seems to be possibly indefinite, which means infinite, due to his unlimited rage. As long as he's angry, he'll never tire out. And his durability, well, there's a lot of them, but this has to be like the most durable I've ever seen him. But he survived getting stabbed through the gut, breaking all of his arms. He got cut down from the middle of his head to his waist, like he got a big nasty cut. He got covered in magma rock, basically being covered in rock, and technically should have been dead, only to break out of the rock a few years later, and then after only just coming out, even though he may have had a rest or not, he fought off an army of monsters and the forces of the celestial army, and then and only after taking all of that, he had a very brief rest.
Damn. Ow.
Like, by rest, I don't mean he caught his breath, but he let his, well, I don't know, he just made sure he was just making sure he wasn't too bruised up.
Right.
Yeah, he survived all of that.
Alright. So, who do you think wins in this stamina and durability thing?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I would like to argue Asura wins because it seems that as long as he's angry, his stamina will never run out.
And then there's Kratos that always has the time whenever he does work escaping the underworld.
Well, there's the thing. So can Asura. He's dragged himself out of hell loads of times.
Right.
Like, he's fallen down to that thing so many times. You think he would have fallen down all the way by now. But nope. Every time he managed to get on the same exact pillar and climb out into the living world.
Right. That when he does die, he can simply go back and attack the person killed at that time.
Alright, I will admit, Kratos does have the ability to mess with time. Time manipulation isn't a real factor in the world of Asura's wrath, but he did battle someone who was literally god of creation. So he literally fought against someone who could both create and destroy at the same time.
Right.
Like, if Chakravarti wanted to, he could create someone or something strong enough to kill Asura, but Asura was so angry that he literally just made sure that shit didn't happen.
Okay. Alright.
And he survived multiple beatings and still come out on top.
Okay, so as much as I like those, I'm gonna have to give the stamina and durability to Asura.
Yeah, to be fair, I will not deny Kratos is a beast, and he could take a fucking hell of a beating.
Yeah.
But it seems like no matter how many times you knock down Asura, as long as he's still pissed, you are not making sure that that guy stays dead. As long as he's angry, he's always gonna come back.
Yeah. Now, how
about what, sorry?
How we move on to martial arts?
Okay. Do tell us about Kratos. What kind of fighting arts does the Spartan general know?
Well, it's very hard, but I do know the expert at hand combat, and seems to be particularly good at throwing and returning. He's very acrobatic, for one.
That is very true. And as a person who knows a lot about Greek history, Spartans are Greek, and funny enough, there are two martial arts that come from Greece: boxing and wrestling. Two martial arts that require no weapons, but technically, in a way, using weapons counts as a martial arts style, because you need to know how to use them in the midst of battle.
Yeah, and as far as I know, Kratos, like many other Spartan warriors, were probably raised and born to fight.
So most Spartans are born from birth to fight.
Even trained as good as they even cut brutally.
I know. I mean, jeez.
Basically, they were unstoppable warriors.
Yep, and they believed they were either descendants from Ares himself or Hercules.
Yeah.
Which, I will admit, that makes some sense, given how incredibly good they were. Okay, for martial arts for Asura, yeah, he doesn't seem like he knows any technical martial arts, but I've actually come up with some that make sense. He seems to have what looks like a gorilla tactic, swinging his arms violently and strongly to disorientate or just knock out his opponents. I like to call this the crazy gorilla technique.
Alright.
He also seems to fight like a caveman, using unbelievable strength and just unbelievable and overbearing strength to knock out an opponent.
Wow.
And while I don't know if this would count as a martial art, but in a way, with the way he fights, he created his own martial art style, which I have dubbed Wrathful God, where you just go ape shit. You literally just do not care what you do as long as you hurt your opponent.
Right.
Yeah, literally his style is either you make sure the person's hurt or dead.
Right.
While they're not real martial arts, in a way, that's a martial art in of itself.
Yeah.
So, but who's better?
I really.
Okay, if it came to just pure punching, I'm sorry, I would have to give it to Asura, as he has been able to punch mega fast. Like, if you think he's fast at flying or running, you should see how fast this guy can punch. Whenever he throws a punch, it can move faster than eyesight.
Right.
Now, Kratos does punch fairly fast, but I've never seen him punch that fast.
Right.
But if Kratos was to use his weapons against Asura, then Asura's at a disadvantage because technically Asura doesn't have any weapons. Unless you count his metal arms as weapons, then... but if you don't, then no, he doesn't have any actual weapons. He's a better fist fighter.
Right.
So in a way, Kratos has an advantage because he has an axe and his blades of chaos.
And also, he has a good...
He has a what, sorry?
He also has a good shield.
Oh yeah, he has a shield that expands outwards from like what looks like a really cool looking arm bracelet.
Yeah.
Or gauntlet, or what would it be called if it covers your forearm?
A bracer.
Yeah, something like that, a bracer. And am I the one that feels like that's more of a Greek shield than it would be Nordic? Because there's many tales of Greek weapons expanding out of almost nothing.
Yeah, it's a Greek shield.
Yeah. And that is really good. Especially if he's in his axe mode with that shield. In old days, if you had a shield and a sword, you were basically near unkillable.
Yeah.
Because shields are mega handy in a battle.
Not just for defense, but for offense too.
Yep.
Use the edge.
Yeah, because Kratos has used his edge to punch people in the head with the shield.
Yeah.
Captain America style.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, his shield seems to be indestructible and made out of a super metal, like Captain America's shield. I'm sensing a theme here.
It seems like indestructible.
Yeah. Now, Asura's metal arms, while not indestructible, but it takes a lot of force for them to break. As an example, he fought against Gungan Wyzern, who was twice the size of the Earth, and he tried to poke Asura to death, and Asura punched his finger so many times that he broke all of his arms. But to be fair, the finger alone was the size of a mountain.
Right.
So yeah, while yes, he broke all of them, with the last army he had left, he killed Gungan Wyzern. While yes, he did break it when he did it, but still, it takes something the size of a fingertip, the size of a mountain, to break his 6 arm form. And technically all of his arms are made of metal. And a bit like, and that makes him a bit like a cyborg.
Yeah, it does.
But the funny thing is, they are not made by scientists. He literally grows the fuckers.
Wow.
Yeah, he grows metal arms. I don't even know how the hell that works.
Yeah, I don't know how.
And the funny thing is, even if they do break, eventually they will grow back.
Do they?
Yep. But here's the funny thing. When he transforms, the arms get bigger, and at the very least in his mantra form, those are his arms in his mantra form have never broken.
Damn.
So in base form, his arms might break eventually, but maybe Kratos wouldn't know that. I mean, he's smart, but maybe he might not know that.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe he might not be able to figure that out. Maybe, I don't know, straight away in the battle. So yeah. Okay, so if it was just hand to hand, then I feel like it would slightly go to Asura, but once Kratos whips out his weapons, then Asura has a hell of a disadvantage. Sure, he could probably take every strike from Kratos' weapons, but still Kratos would be able to keep a shit ton of distance away from Asura.
Yeah.
So, what would you call this then?
I call it a tie.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. It's better tied than anything else.
Now we move on.
We move on to what? Sorry.
Now we move on to special.
Oh yeah, special moves. So what kind of special moves does Kratos, the God of War, have?
Well, he has master fire and ice.
Ooh, two really good elements.
Mm-hmm.
And both are technically bipolar opposites.
Yeah. But, I mean, he does have great powers, but for just special moves, that's as best as I got.
Fair enough. Well, Asura doesn't have that many, but I've come up with at least a couple. He has a technique where he can punch you 1,000 times in the space of only 5 seconds. He can...
So it's basically...
It's basically what, sorry?
So it's basically like your bros. Crack.
Yes, it's basically like Kenshio's 1,000 knuckle crack.
Yeah.
That should be one of my bells. Asura versus Kenshiro.
Kenshiro wins.
Fatality. Oh, alright, another one of his moves is what I like to call Rage Energy Palette Barrage. Asura sees out the ability to shoot rage-filled energy blasts out of his fists. Like, not his hands, his fists, as if they were bullets. And he has a special move where he shoots at the very least 20 of them from one arm in one go.
Yeah.
Ouch. And he has a really good move. This one is powerful. What I like to call full power rage blast punch, where he literally puts all of the rage he has in his body into one big punch that if he hits someone successfully with it, it will engulf them in a giant blast made of pure rage energy.
Wow.
And while I don't know what it would be made of, but seeing how fire is attributed to rage and anger, I would like to say that it's fire-based. If not, then it's similar to the Kamehameha, maybe being energy-based, like Ki.
Right.
But seeing how Asura is from India, it would either be Ki or Chakra. But still, inner energy.
Right, so special moves.
Well, this is tough. Kratos does have two great element powers to call upon, fire and ice.
So...
But then Asura does have a move that's slightly fire-based. He can shoot energy-based pellets that are probably covered in fire as well, and has a technique similar to Kenshiro.
I think crap.
This is actually very tough.
Another tie.
Yeah, possible tie. I mean, the thing is, if Asura the first move, if Asura tried it, Kratos could probably block it with his shield. So then 1,000 punches wouldn't work. The energy pellets would probably be able to be blocked again by Kratos' shield. Even if they did hit him, they probably wouldn't do that much damage. And here's the thing, even if Asura did land his full power Rage Blast punch on Kratos, I don't know if it would kill him or not. It depends if he hits him with it.
Right.
If he hit the shield, then maybe Kratos could survive it, but I don't know. Alright, just for sake of argument's sake, if Asura did land his punch on Kratos, what do you reckon would happen?
I feel like if he was able to let punch Kratos,
Sorry, what?
I'm about to say something. I feel like Kratos, could possibly survive that. But at the same time, I don't think he...
So you're not sure whether he could or couldn't survive it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's use an example. When he pulled off this move, he killed Chakravartin with it, who is a god of creation. While yes, Kratos did kill the Sisters of Fate and Zeus, technically Asura kind of killed someone similar to Zeus in a way. Maybe not in terms of power, but, well, I don't know. But Chakravartin is, I don't know. It's hard. I don't want to say he is more powerful than Zeus, but similar Zeus can't create another universe, I would like to argue Chakravartin is more powerful than Zeus.
Okay, so let's give it the Asura.
Okay, but only if he was to land that punch. Only if.
Okay. Alright.
Like, that is a big stretch, because Kratos could either dodge it or block it easily.
Yeah.
And that shield seems, like, pretty much indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then, so that is special moves. It seems it's mostly a tie, only up to a point if Asura landed his ultimate attack.
Yeah.
Alright then. Now then, what is next?
Power and power type.
Alright then, what kind of power and power type does Kratos have?
Well, he has superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, stamina, durability, and endurance, along with partial immortality.
Very good.
Well, aren't you gonna do like Asura?
Very well, I will. Well, Asura's power type is known as Rage. Literally, that's his power. As long as he's angry, and the more angrier he gets, which seems indefinite, by the way, the more powerful he becomes. But that's his power type. Powers alone, he has godlike strength, very godlike strength. Blinding speed, insane durability, his rage energy blast powers, which I guess is a power because it's literally his rage. He's throwing an emotion as an attack, as an energy-based projectile. Also, technically, he's immortal too, in a sense. I did say he's over 12,000 years old.
Right.
And yeah, he's also got insane endurance, stamina, and everything else. All thanks to rage. If this dude wasn't angry, he is strong, but he would be almost I don't know. Alright, for example, if he wasn't angry, he'd be probably on par with a very well experienced human martial artist. But as soon as this dude's angry, he's literally on par and beyond gods.
Right.
So is there a way to find out who has it better, or is this kind of even in a way?
I think even.
Yeah, because they both technically have the same thing.
Yeah.
Even though, funny enough, Asura is a lot older than Kratos.
Yeah.
Like Kratos is possibly over 150 years old, which is pretty old, I won't deny, and older than the real Kratos of Greek mythology lived. But Asura is, well, like 120 times older.
Mhm.
No, actually, yeah, possibly about 1200 times older.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, no wonder his hair's white.
Mhm.
And he's just a demigod. That's gotta be the oldest demigod I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Alright then, so yeah. Power types and powers even. Once again.
Now we move on to armor.
Okay, technically Asura doesn't have any armor per se, but his arms are made of metal, and I don't know what type of metal, but I would like to think there's some kind of god metal. So in a way, they act as armor. And beyond that, his skin is pretty freaking tough. While you can penetrate it, it would take a lot of force.
Right.
So the only real armor he has is his arms, if I'm being realistic. But funny enough, he does wear what looks like golden ankle bracelets.
Does he?
Yeah, on his ankles it looks like he's wearing some some golden shin braces.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. He wears one on each leg. And I don't know what metal they're made of, but I'd like to reckon, seeing how they've never been broken, they would be made of a similar metal to his arms.
Right.
So he's basically wearing metal shin pads.
Mhm.
So he has metal arms and metal shin pads. That's his armor.
Now, how about
Kratos?
Okay. So, Kratos has the most powerful armor God of War. It's the deadly mesh armor. It increased that 20.
It does what, sorry?
It also gets what?
You slightly glitched out there.
Can I say that again?
Yes, go ahead.
So, Kratos has that. It basically increased that 26 while giving him S while he fights.
Right.
So basically, as he fights, he regenerates.
So the armor gives him regeneration.
Yeah, while he's fighting.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell. That's crazy. That is some crazy armor.
Yeah. So, I think we already know who the winner is in this category.
Yeah. while Asura's arms could get broken and he can regrow them back, it takes a hell of a lot of time. Whereas Kratos' armor, well, I don't know if it can be broken or not. Yeah, the fact that it regenerates him while he's in the midst of battle, yeah, that instantly makes Kratos have way better armor.
Right. Alright, so up next is what?
Is what, sorry?
Up next is what?
Is what?
Up next is what?
I thought we already talked about weapons.
Well, okay. Well, we'll just skip that.
Well,
So,
the last thing... Oh, yeah.
Special abilities, I don't think either of them have...
Well... Asura kind of has... Well, in a way, Asura has... Frey.
Oh, well... That just makes him the winner of that category.
Yeah, he can get stronger, faster, and tougher when he gets angry. He can transform, and he has a very high tolerance for pain.
Alright, so for transformations, for Kratos, he has the Spartan Rage, which allows him to be completely in pain, makes him completely unstoppable, and strong to smash giant stone steel structures with his bare hands.
Dang.
And strong enough to create an earthquake with a single stomp.
Bruh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, as for transformations for Asura, he has his Vajra form, which is his 6-arm form. He has what's known as his Berserker form, where okay, this is where people get confused. People think that when he's in his Berserker form, this is where he's the most angry. Not true. Well, yes, it's called Berserker, but he doesn't have control over it at all. He's basically gone insane. Whereas in his last form, or the last form we see him have, he is full on angry and has full control. And you know someone's deadly if they have control over their anger.
Yeah.
Well, but don't knock Berserker form, because in this form, he destroyed a fleet of spaceships which could have annihilated the planet he was standing on.
Damn.
And not only that, he survived a laser from a giant fortress made of pure metal and chakra, which shot at him with a giant pure life chakra beam, point blank, right at him, and he survived it. And the beam was powerful enough to not destroy Earth, but destroy all life on it.
Wow.
Yep, he took that straight on. Like, he didn't run away. It hit him point blank, and he was strong enough to still kill a random god who was, I will admit, pretty darn weak in comparison to the others, but still, he killed that god easily, and he took a crap ton of beating from his best friend, who's another god, and then after taking a quick nap, he came back to normal. So not only did he survive fighting against two things that could have destroyed the planet he was standing on, he killed one god who was a bitch, got beat up by his friend who's a god, and came back to being normal to fight again.
Damn.
And that's technically only his second transformation. There's one that I don't know if it's okay. this is funny. He achieved his berserker form before this one, even though the next one is slightly weaker in a sense. He has his a form known as mantra, where he calls upon mantra power, which is known as the power in his, which is the technical power in his universe. In this, his arms are mega bulky. Like, you remember how big the lion gauntlets were on Hercules, right?
Yeah.
Well, imagine them covering his entire arm and being at least 2 times bigger.
Damn.
Yep. And then he has a form after that. His 6-arm mantra form, where he has 6 super bulky arms.
Okay.
And then, after that, his friend Asura, after I don't know if it was him or Asura, but they destroyed what's known as the Mantra Fortress. Asura went to find its remains on Earth, took the core from it, and somehow implanted it into Asura's chest, giving him full control over mantra power, which let him achieve his in a way technical final form, his god form known as Asura the Destroyer, where he's 2 times bigger than Earth. Yep, you think Kratos is big? Asura is bigger.
Okay. I think Asura wins this one.
Yeah, no offense to Kratos, but in transformations, Asura easily wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if not for the power, just for the sheer fact that he has a crap ton. I mean, the dude almost has more transformations than Goku.
Does he?
I said almost.
Oh.
Like, he almost has the same amount. And we're talking about Goku.
Yeah.
The guy known for having so many transformations. But anywho, so I think that's basically everything now.
And you know what my consensus was?
Yo, what?
I kept score of all that won in the entire thing.
Oh, good, because no offense, I kind of lost track.
It's a tie.
Damn!
Yeah, complete.
That's weird, because in the first round, I only used Asura up to his mantra state, and used him against God of War 3 Kratos, and either I didn't do my research right, or I don't know, but in the first round, Asura beat Kratos. So, thanks to the new God of War game, Kratos ties with Asura?
Yeah.
Holy shit! What a round 2!
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess thank you, God of War 4?
Yes, please.
I mean, I'm actually speechless. I don't know why, but I thought Asura was gonna win again.
Did ya?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my boy Kratos. The dude can kill almost any god he sets his mind to. But Asura has killed a load of gods himself, and the dude is just unbelievably powerful.
Mhm.
But I guess there's a very good reason these two would tie, because funny enough, they're pretty much the same person. Kratos got revenge on the gods for betraying him, and the same with Asura.
Uh-huh.
And while Kratos' title is God of War, war is usually caused by mostly anger. And what is Asura? The God of Wrath. and he was a general of an army, just like Kratos. Yep, you're probably sensing a theme. There's a reason behind this. Capcom full-on admitted Asura's Wrath is slightly based upon God of War.
Oh, wow.
And the funny thing is, Capcom's known for making mostly Japanese-based stuff, but Asura is from India.
Right.
And you know what the funny thing is, though? In true Indian mythology, Asura is not a god. Asura is actually a species.
Oh, a species?
Yeah, the species known as Asuras. They're creatures. Them along with the Azaris, I can't remember. Yeah, along with another species, they made the Hana Hana water, which Shiva, him or herself, drank and turned him blue.
Oh.
Yeah, but they kind of twisted that around just to give someone like Asura. And it's sort of clever, because the Asuras in real mythology of India, they're very rageful creatures. And known for having multiple arms.
Right.
So taking what was a species and just making it one person who has wrath that could rival even that of other gods? Not bad idea, Capcom.
Right, it's clever.
So, there we go, guys. I don't know if it was me doing bad research the first time or not, but thanks to God of War 4, in round 2 of Asura vs. Kratos, these two demigods have finally tied.
Yeah.
Greece and India, well, looks like both mythologies are even. At least for these two.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, and enjoying this video. And thank you very much, Skyward, for helping me with this battle. Hello?
I'm still here.
As I said, thank you very much for helping me with this.
Oh, you are very welcome, my dear friend.
So, guys, I must say this with the utmost honesty and care. Please go in the description below and click on the link to Skyward's channel. Check him out. The dude makes some good voice impressions and does some brilliant art design.
I sure did.
And if you guys want to see more of me and Skyward, just put it in the comments below. And so, with this, technically, is the last one of, actually no, I won't say that till a separate video. Anywho, that's another Hula win out of the way. And so thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share with your friends, click the notification bell so you stay updated all the time. Subscribe to me, subscribe to Skyward. And now it's time for us to say adieu.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. And remember, you can never beat an angry god.